Tech giant Twitter fired 7,500 employees. Meta, or popularly known as Facebook, fired more than 11,000 employees. Tech giant Microsoft fired over 1,000 employees. And its rival Snap is about to fire 20% of its workforce, which comes to nearly 1,300 employees. Coming to the situation in India, if we have a look at the edtech firms, the edtech giant Byju's recently laid off 2,500 employees. Unacademy 10%, Vedantu 620 after initial 100, and Front Row about 75% of its staff. And all this has just happened in a span of 2 to 3 months, and we are seeing big tech on a firing spree literally. So what's wrong with them? So hi, hello, namaskar. This is CA Aniket Barve, and let's discuss why are tech giants firing. Now I'm sure you know this man who is famous not just to acquire Twitter recently and charging $8 per verified tweet, but also firing a number of employees overnight from Twitter. So let's come to the reasons as to why big techs are firing. The first reason being COVID-19, because during the COVID-19, almost each and everything was going on virtual. So the tech companies were having a gala time. But as slowly and gradually things are coming back to normal, it was realized by these tech companies that the pandemic boom was short lived. And now there is a sharp decline in the digital advertising revenue. This also can be evident from the tweet put out by Elon Musk saying that $8 is now the need of the hour because we can't solely depend on advertisers. Sluggish recovery from COVID-19 and uncertainty in the markets has led to a looming recession worldwide. And also due to the Ukraine war, there is a supply chain crisis across. So these may be some of the probable reasons as to why there is a sharp decline in the advertising revenue of all the tech companies. And now once the revenue has gone down, one of the measures of cost cutting is obviously lay off the employees to save up on salary and remuneration. When we concentrate on India, especially the ed tech firms, we see Byju's Unacademy also laying off a number of employees. So the first question which I'm faced with is, was there irresponsible hiring in the first place? Because in India, if we see, the terms like leadership or team building are hook phrases in order to be founders of startups. So some of the startup founders ultimately end up hiring number of employees and end up in irresponsible hiring even if they are not required. Second is too much focus on branding and marketing. Now I am not being selective in this case, but we observe that most of the startups are focusing, especially edtech firms, are focusing more on marketing and branding rather than their original product, which is education. The next point is obviously race of valuations. Every company, every startup wants to be in the unicorn race. The next point being burning of cash and lack of prioritization. So coming to lack of prioritization, the edtech firm which started with schooling is now starting to enter into professional courses, into medical entrance examinations, etc., where they do not have an expertise. Amidst all this, a very interesting read is a 52 slide presentation which has been given by Sequoia Capital. So Sequoia Capital is often branded as the Nostradamus of the markets by media. So they seemingly had warned about the volatility in the tech market, especially in 2022, early 2022 itself. So as per their slide presentation, 61% of all software, internet and fintech companies are trading below the pre-pandemic prices in 2020. So the main point of that presentation was this is not a time to panic, but to pause and reassess. While Sequoia Capital was being branded as pessimistic and Nostradamus by the media, they conveniently ignored a number of solutions which they have given in the same 52 slider presentation. So this reminds me of a Greek mythological story of Cassandra. So Cassandra had a boon wherein she could predict the impending dangers, but it was coupled up with a curse that no one will ever believe her. So let's discuss some of the solutions. One of the important lines in that 52 slider presentation is, that it is not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but it is the one who will adapt. So adapting to change is the most important criteria. The second is what decision do we plan to make and what decision we wish we would have made is another important aspect to be taken into consideration. Further, a four-step model was given to tackle this situation. The first being embrace reality, the second, adapt quickly, the third and the most important, especially in the context of Indian edtech firms, that is the pain of discipline is much less and bearable than the pain of regret. And the last being emerge stronger by following the three steps. So it can be definitely said that it's time for all the edtech firms to go back to the drawing board, rework and reassess. Whether this layoff is just a meltdown in the market or simply a course correction, only time will tell. So that's it with the video. Thanks for watching. If you find this interesting, do give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Namaste.